Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Punamata. I'm a human design coach and I help women find and monetize their purpose using human design. In today's video, I will be talking about Gate 25 and what that means for you in your purpose journey, whether it's in your business, whether it is in your professional career, exactly how having Gate 25 in your chart or in an ongoing transit can affect how it plays out in that journey in your life. So that's what this video is going to be about. Now, before I get into this video, if you have not done so already, be sure you subscribe to my channel and download my freebie Soul Gifts by Design cheat sheet. This cheat sheet is phenomenal for anyone who's looking at human design from the lens of trying to find your purpose. I go into certain aspects of your chart step by step that are going to help you figure out your unique purpose in this life. So with that, let's get started. Now, Gate 25 is this very innocent energy in your chart. It is known as Gate of Innocence for a reason. Anyone who has that Gate 25 has this childlike wonder within them where they see everything like a child. It's like everything is just pure joy. It's awe, it's wonder, it's beautiful. Gate 25 is also known as the Gate of Unconditional Love because there is this compassion, this deep compassion to everything and everyone. And by everything, I mean everything. Gate 25 loves everyone deeply, be it human, be it a person, be it a thing. I have Gate 25 that appears twice in my chart, and I love everything. Like I have this cup, this ember mug. I love it so much. And I keep telling people about it. I feel compassion for some of the stuffies in my house. I get upset when my kids will just throw their stuffies on the side and not take care of them because I feel compassion for the stuffies. It's ridiculous. Like I know when I'm saying it, I sound absurd, but that is how this gate plays out. And if you're someone who has that Gate 25 in their design, you can likely relate to this where you feel compassion for everything and everyone. However, there's compassion, especially when it comes to stepping into your purpose and letting it play out fully and completely. This compassion can sometimes be a double-edged sword because what can happen is that sometimes we hold so much sensitivity and compassion for the other person that we forget ourselves and that we forget that we should be holding this for ourselves as well. And that is often to our detriment, where we start letting compassion for someone else affect how we act. And we let it corrupt our innocence and we let it corrupt the way we're here to be and we're here to do things. Gate 25 is an individual gate. It's a part of the individual circuitry. And what that means is that any gates that are part of these individual circuitry, they're here to have its own unique self-expression. That is, you're here to really march to the beat of your drum. That is when you are who you're here to be, when you do things through your own unique creativity and self-expression, you empower others to do the same. You are not here to follow someone else's cookie cutter way of doing things. You're here to bring in that creativity and do things your own way. But what tends to happen is that because of that compassion that we hold for others, we let it affect the way we do things. And we forget how we're here to be. And that's where we lose our power. Because our power lies in our creativity. It lies in the way we do things. And it lies in our innocence. And our design, the design of Gate 25, we're not here to get corrupted by these external influences. So let's think about how this plays out in your life. In your life, this is going to play out as, say, if you have a business, right? You're going to start holding too much compassion for the people that you're creating your content for, or the people who are your clients. And you're going to try to accommodate them at your own cost, where you are, instead of saying what you want to say and do things how you want to do things, you're going to adapt and adjust it to fit into what you think they want to hear. rather than what you want to do. Do you see the difference? So it's going to corrupt the way you look at things and your take on things. You're going to end up really adapting how you do things based on what you think other people want, because you are seeking their validation and because you are trying to be compassionate for them, too compassionate for them at your own cost, even when it is not something that you want to do. So in your business, it could look like you stop doing things your way because you start comparing yourself to the other people, to the people who are maybe higher in the business world than you are, who have accomplished a lot more. And you feel that your audience and your clients deserve that. And therefore, now you start adapting your expression in order to replicate what those others have, to be compassionate for your audience rather than you speaking your truth without, of course, you're still compassionate for the other person, but you're not corrupting your own self-expression because of it. At work, it could look like you just started a new job and therefore now you're trying to be compassionate for the hiring managers or the people around you, and you want to make sure you're not letting them down, and therefore you stop the way you have historically been doing things and you start doing things their way and exactly how they want you to do things in order to placate and validate them, because you hold that compassion for them and you don't want to let them down. Now, in both cases, by you trying to hold that compassion for someone else, which is fine, it's in your design, you should be holding compassion for others, it's a good thing, but it shouldn't be at the cost of yourself. That compassion also has to go inward. It also has to go towards yourself. So in the first example, it could look like, yeah, sure, there's other people who have their own expression, but you're here to have your own unique self-expression. That's where you're being compassionate to yourself. And then you try to fulfill the gaps that your audience has by holding that compassion for them. And you two meeting each other where you are, rather than you trying to be someone that you're not and putting yourself up to where you're not. Because you're trying to copy somebody else. That is never going to be successful for you. And people are going to see through that. Same thing in work setting where you are trying to copy their style and methodology. You're going to get drained at the end of the day. That is not who you are. You have your own way of doing things. Sure, you could learn how they do things and let that creativity mix, simmer, inspire you into doing things in a certain way, but it should never be copying something. It should be an inspiration rather than a pure copy. I hope that makes sense. You do have to have that compassion for yourself, and you have to let your own innocence drive the whole thing. Now, with Gate 25, the beauty of Gate 25 is that you're here to be innocent despite the corruption of the external world. It means that you're not here to get influenced by other people's opinions and thoughts and the way they do things. Now, what can happen over here is, in trying to find that own unique self-expression, which comes from this amazing creative impulse that everyone with individual gates have, what can happen over here is that you will end up in periods of melancholy, which is needed for creativity to emerge, where you are going to feel blah about things. And especially with Gate 25, that blah feeling, that melancholy feeling comes from a place of feeling very small and insignificant. You feel that you cannot succeed in your business, at your work, because you are small and insignificant compared to the rest of them. And when that feeling hits, you just want to abandon everything. You just start holding yourself back. You start making yourself small. You start shrinking yourself, and you step back completely from who you are with this Gate 25. And here is where understanding of melancholy helps. Anytime you have that feeling, understand that this is melancholy. It is a part of your design. By you accepting this melancholy, you're going to be able to hit the rock bottom and come out with a creative impulse. It's going to be like a downward spiral, and then you're going to bounce back up, and you're going to come back with something amazing and strong and beautiful. That's going to be a part of your creative expression. But it is so important not to let the downward spiral go down, but rather accepting it, understanding that it's melancholy, and then you're going to come out in the other end. Because you're not smaller, insignificant. You are here to be who you are. And there's going to be people who are going to want the people who are at the higher level. But then for some people, someone at that high of a level is too much of a leap. They want someone who's at that middle level, who's where you're at. And your fractal is here to learn from you. These are the people who are here to get your perspective on things. And it's because it's not about being successful or powerful. I have read certain bestsellers and I wasn't able to get anything out of them. But then I read a book that was not even written by a person nowhere close to a bestseller, and it made so much sense to me. Why? Because I'm likely a part of their fractal. I'm here to get their interpretation on things. And you are going to have people who are a part of your fractal as well, who are here to learn from you and only you. Right? So keep that in mind anytime you feel small and insignificant. And just because you feel small and insignificant doesn't mean you have to give your power away to it. It is just a melancholic feeling that is going to leap past you in no time, as long as you accept it. Yeah, so that is the gate 25 for you. Do not let anyone or anything corrupt you. Don't let it compromise you. If you have gate 25 by itself without gate 51, then harsh environments, rude people are not for you. You're not here to be around those people. That's going to be bad news for you. You want to get out of that as soon as possible. You're here to be in very soft and supportive environments that really encourage you and your growth and your innocence. Now, the beautiful thing, before I end this video, the beautiful thing about gate 25, especially if you have that gate 51 on the other side of it, is that anytime you feel that you're losing that innocence, something's going to shock you into going back there, which means that anytime you get corrupted by what other people think or by you changing expression because you want to placate or validate others, they're going to shock you and you're going to end up coming back to exactly who you were and not giving a damn about what someone else thinks. Again, it's not about not holding compassion for them, but it's about you being true to who you are and holding that compassion for yourself as well. So that's what's going to happen with 25. I cannot tell you the number of times where it's happened to me, where I hold so much compassion for maybe a friend or a manager or whatever, and then they shock me and they see something nasty or bad or not good, and it just hits me. It's like, oh my God, why was I doing all this? Am I crazy? And it brings me back. So yeah, with that, I hope this video has helped, and I'll talk to you all soon.